Hello, welcome. Welcome to Playtime. My name is Corine Times New Roman Gerritsen, and there.
I'm Kirthi Bilingual Sridharan. Today we're going to be talking about Ludic Food.
I'm going to ask you, what's new with you?
Well, I have made a phenomenally irresponsible purchase. This week I bought an ice cream machine because I am quite culinarily minded, I guess. I like cooking and baking and doing little chemical experiments in the kitchen quite often. And I've made like home churned, like DIY hand churned ice cream before, and it is a labor of love, but definitely a labor. And I decided that I want to make the most of the sunshine that has since disappeared, but I have faith it'll come back. And yeah, so I bought an ice cream machine, and I have 3 pints of ice cream, different flavors, cooling in my freezer right now, and they are all phenomenal. What about you? What's new with you? Any unreasonable purchases from your end?
In terms of culinary, what's new with me is there's something in my fridge right now cooling, which I'm very excited to try because it will be the first time that I will be making from scratch vegan bitterballen. So I really hope that they will turn out good.
We are about to talk about food and video games, and I keep thinking, I've just been wondering this whole time while you're talking if I've ever seen like Dutch food in a video game.
Ooh, that's a very good question.
I'm just thinking of like, like a really grimdark, nitty-gritty historical fiction game. I don't know why it has to be grimdark horror for me to imagine Stonebolt.
Ooh,
Our question for the day was, what's a meal or food from a video game you wish you could try? Ooh, yeah, unfortunately I have several, as always, but I think it's gonna be Zelda again. I just think that specifically the like powered desserts, but I can't handle like a ton of food extremes. Like my spice tolerance is fairly low relatively, but the thought that if I could stomach a bunch of like spicy meat skewers from Breath of the Wild, that would give me cold resistance. I could do with cold resistance most days, so would love that. And just sort of like any like elixir, when elixirs are rendered well in a game's graphics, I really enjoy thinking about drinking them. What about you? What's your answer?
For me, it's also hard, but that is because I'm a vegan. And a lot of food that is in games, and when you actually get to cook it and it gets like more extensive, is not vegan. Like I can still see like, oh, that looks nice, but I wouldn't have the feeling of, hey, that's something I would want to eat. So I was pondering about that, and I had this one really good memory of Valheim with like the rest of value, and we just finished building this meat hall. We were playing for quite a bit, and we had our first meat there together, and we toasted. So that was this whole celebratory element in it, which really elevated like food and this time in this moment the meat. And that also made me really think when I was reading this chapter. For me, like that moment stood out because of the social context of that moment, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's almost like the process is. I mean, as the reading we're about to talk about talks about as well. Like the process is sometimes just as important, if not more important, to the player and to the game than the product. This chapter in particular talks about a number of existing forays, right, from a game studies angle into looking at pixelated food, ludic food. And also what I was really pleased by is it really delves into reproductive labors and feminization versus masculinization of these traditional like homely tasks, and how gamifying them reproduces a productive masculinized capitalist rhetoric, and also the undertones of colonialism that are present in a lot of games like these, where the player never has to worry about impact on the environment from their consumption or from their resource gathering, a lack or finiteness of resources in most cases, Things are there for the taking. There's very little competition for resources.
Aris is saying that it simulates more of those at the table, not the person in the kitchen. And I think that's the exact point that the chapter is trying to make, and we are also trying to make, because a lot of these things, you are in a survival game, so you don't get to be the one at the table because you have to cook. But the game takes that away. Like, it is important to forage all of these ingredients, and you really have to grow stuff, or you need to hunt stuff. So that is all simulated, but the moment it gets to the pan, it's like, oh, like an invisible mom will make it for you, which is a little bit of a weird of a concept.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing of like the masculinized productive labor, right? You put the food into the food making machine, and it invisibly presents the food to you. Congratulations, you have a good grade in food.
I think I was also thinking about how cooking and food is portrayed in The Sims. You have to get better in cooking. If you suck at cooking, your food will be worse. And I play a lot of Sims 3, and in Sims 3 it will tell you the quality of the dish. Like if it's burnt and it tells you that it's absolutely horrible. I still sometimes make my Sims eat it because I'm very frustrated with them, because it's like, you did this twice already, I'm really done with your antics, and you will eat the burnt food. For some recipes, you will have to get the recipe itself. You will have to buy the recipe, read it, and then make it for the first time. And the first time you have less chance of it succeeding than if you did it 10 times, which I think are very nice little additions to that.
It is also fun. Once again, you have that thing of like being in a fantasy setting, and Lord of the Rings, it's October 24th syndrome, right? Where you're like, you're telling me you have corn? If you have corn, that means you have Mesoamerica. That like, so now we're assuming a lot of things. But also, I'd rather that than the sort of let's instead of making this a tomato, let's make it a shmamato, an entirely different fruit that is purple instead of red, but has the exact same. There's, I think, a dropout clip or something of Omar Najam, who's a Pakistani tabletop actual play actor, talking about how he, when he was first playing like the original Animal Crossing as a kid, his dad came into the room and was like, what are you doing? What are you playing? And he goes, oh, it's this video game where you farm and you have crops, and then you and his dad was like, you mean I emigrated here from Karachi to save you from this fate, and now you're doing it on TV?
That's an interesting thing about the whole playbour thing, right?
Right.
Because
like the notion of capitalism as this like pastoral escapist fantasy, like I fall for it.
I love it.
Yeah. Like there's a reason we love Stardew so much. I don't know, it's just making me think a lot about like Mary Douglas and Matter Out of Place, and this notion of like dirt. And when you are farming, when you are gathering, when you are hunting, you don't have to deal with mess. You don't have to deal with dirt. You just you click a button and the animal is skinned and cut and prepared. The dishes, the Sisyphean labor of dishwashing is not an element in the majority of cooking games. It have to do story.
Saving a business. Ooh. This restaurant has gone bankrupt due to nefarious mismanagement. It's your duty as an underpaid problem solver to turn it into a profitable business. But it also has, like, if you want to use this ingredient, for example, basil, it will work well with these ingredients, like tomato, but it will not work well with other types of ingredients, which I think is really nice, just to also, like, if you play this, you get a bit of an idea what flavor combinations might work and which might not. Okay. Oh. Businesses are failing. Chefs are unemployed. People are buying frozen pizza. The situation is desperate. So here, these are the things that we can make already. So I think I'm just going to create a simple sandwich.
Sure.
Would look good on the menu. And let's also make it vegan so that vegans can actually come here. But you're in charge of the name. What shall we name our sandwich?
The Angus, obviously.
And we have now only 1-star ingredients, which obviously doesn't really help. But we already have 4 stars, and it also only cost $1.12 to make.
That's pretty good.
So we're gonna save this, and then I'm going to the menu panel and go to the Angus and put it on here. And
Nice. Question from chat real quick. Jen is asking how onions are so cheap. Don't ask me how I know this. I don't know how I know this, but onion season is about 2 months long. So all of the onions that need to be produced for the year are produced in that span of 2 months, and then they are stored in these giant wind tunnels. I think that has something to do with their cheapness, is that there's kind of an abundance of them.
in general, they seem to be happy. Outstanding. Great experience. The food is 2.5 stars, 2 stars. Okay.
The only downside is that the food was bad.
Yeah, it was a great restaurant.
No, I'm not crazy. A jacked potato would just be like a potato voiced by Dwayne Johnson. There's a typo on the menu. No wonder the food is bad. I'm astounded that the reviews are this good when the food is bad. Surely the primary purpose.
It's cheap food though. That helps. That helps.
Yeah.
And this is something fun because here there starts like we have Warden Gamsey.
So true.
Alright. So this was our first day. And we had a lot of rent expenses. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, that's not good. So
No.
But what we need to do is raise the prices drastically. Because people didn't mind to pay more, and I'm not. I'm fine with asking more.
Yeah.
Like, this is terrible, but I guess I'm just gonna double it.
Yeah, of course. $10 for a steak and potatoes. Not the end of the world. Our Dwayne The Rock Johnson potato can be $8. That's fine.
I think this was already
an apple cream pie. I'm so mad at this game.
I'm gonna go with this. It looks like there's a lot. And we're calling it the Aris.
Yes.
The Aris, there we go. And it will be a side dish. Okay.
Do you want to do chives?
Chives.
It'll help with the... Oh, it won't help with the sour. That's crazy. In no world are chives sour.
Oh, this will work.
Yeah. Basil will be good.
Okay. Alright. So that's only
It
46.
still says it's dangerously sour though, right?
Yeah, but this is 90, so...
Ah, okay.
I feel like it's okay. I'm just gonna save it. Mysterious woman.
Why do you
What do you want me to answer? Am I driven by unwavering determination, or are we asking why she's looking like a villain?
I don't know. For some reason, I'm reading her dialogue in Sabile's voice, so I want to say unwavering determination. Oh, no.
So definitely a villain. Oh, yeah. It's
Okay.
It's minus 2,000. Alright, what I'm gonna do is, I guess, raise the price just a little bit. Make it a little bit better. Sorry. I cannot spend any more money.
No.
Our restaurant now has 62 seats. Quite a few of them are filled.
Yeah.
We already made 1,800, which is okay. We're gonna be okay. We're gonna make it.
Alright. Yeah. Can you hire more people?
If I had money.
Does weekend mean more of a customer rush?
Yes. And you have certain days that are like, sometimes there's a vegan convention or something, and then the vegans will show up. And everyone is tired. Oh, look, we are now not good.
Oh no. Oh dear.
But, on the bright side, we made quite a bit of money today.
That's true. It won't look like it. What does the gray walking away mean?
I have never seen it before.
Better or worse? Ooh.
We are doing well. We are ending on minus 500.
That's good. Oh no, it's walking away smoking a cigarette. That's how bad morale is for you. Accurate though.
Oh, we made a profit. We made a profit. We're in debt, but we made a profit. What do you want me to answer?
Maybe I'm a legendary figure. Have a good weekend. Thank you for spending your Friday afternoon with us. And we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.